Bill and Betty Perry.
We're Bill and Betty Perry, and we came to Berea in August of 1943 when the World War II was in full swing, and most of the guys had gone to war. And we had just graduated from high school at 16, and now we were 17 years old and thought we were very, very grown up. I was going in nurses training, and he was going into the Navy, wanted to go in the Navy Air Force. But we were too young. They wouldn't take us, so we had to wait. But we enjoyed our time at Berea. The way we met was we served as dishwashers in the senior dining room. And we had 2 water boys. He was one of them. He was the cute one that all the girls wanted. Mr. Perry, would you come and empty my water for me? Because we washed dishes at the table. We had to have those dishpans filled and emptied, and that's what they did. I was fortunate enough to have table number 10, and it was right by the door to the kitchen. So he had to wait with me while the other girls got their dishes done. So he helped me with my dishes. And I only got an A- in dishwashing because he dried my dishes for me. That's what our checker told us. But we were like together a lot of times.
We loved Berea.
Yeah. And we had our first class together, so after doing dishes every morning, we could walk to class. And we enjoyed that too. And then there were dances 3 nights a week for about an hour. Girls, of course, had to sign in and out, but he could walk me home. And we got to be real good friends. He told me about his girl in Georgia, and I told him about my boyfriend.
I flirted with her enough to marry her.
He had been at Berea for 1.5 years. No, for 6 months, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
He joined the Navy because everybody else was joining the service, so he joined the Navy. I stayed on till I'd been there 1.5 years, and I was accepted into nursing school.
And I became a legal officer.
Yep. He was out of the service after World War II, which I was too, because I was in the cadet corps that nobody ever hears about. But the Army did pay for my tuition there. Of course, you know, tuition at Berea is very reasonable. One of our favorite places to go on dates there was to downtown, to Berea, to the movies. And our other favorite place, which we couldn't afford very often, was Boone Tavern, because they had such wonderful, wonderful meals. But in 1947, after the war was over and we had gotten into our careers, we got married. And
I've loved her ever since.
and we have been married since then.
We had 5 girls, which are all here, and we lost a boy, which was William J. Perry Jr. And my prayer is that I will see him in heaven, because maybe the Lord will let me see him in heaven.
We've been back to Berea many times and always get that lump in our throat and feel very close to it and enjoy getting our Berea Alumnus magazine every month.
For you, Granddad.
Okay.
What did you think the first time you saw Gingen?
I loved her.
The very
The very first time you saw her?
The very first time I saw
comment
her.
on that?
Sure, Gingen.
I was about 15 at the time.
He liked.
I wasn't even out of high school.
Yes, you were.
Oh, I didn't feel like it anyway.
About 4 months you've been out of high school.
Oh, okay.
But he might have loved me and didn't know it, because I chased him till he caught me.
I flirted with her.
But he had a girlfriend back in Georgia. And
What was her name?
there was a girl in Berea, my roommate, that bet me that she could get a date with him first. And she did.
What was her
She
name?
dated him 2 times. Her name was Robbie.
Robbie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But after that, I don't think he dated anybody else. I remember one night he called and told me we always met on Saturday afternoon, and he had to go to the chem lab on Saturday afternoon to make up his unknowns.
And whatever we were doing, we were trying to live for the Lord, and that's why we've been trying to tell you all to live for the Lord too.
Anyway, I went by the lab and helped him do his test that he had to do, and told him that now we could go to the movie because that's what we always did on Saturday afternoon. But I told him the wrong answer.
Well, why did you tell me the wrong answer?
Because I thought I'd hurry you up. And it backfired. Anyway, another time he told me he couldn't go on Saturday afternoon. So I went to the ball game with another guy. He was sick. Well, we were real surprised to see him show up at the ball game. I won't forget that. But we've been very happily married for almost 65 years and wanted to be a part of it.
And you all are all part of our family, and we love you very much. The Lord blesses us with loving our family.
That God's the foundation of a good marriage. And if it isn't God, when he left and I was still at Berea, I went by the chapel every day, the Danforth Chapel, and prayed that he would come back, because we weren't anyway attached, and he had already left. And he did. He came back and surprised me. And I feel like God answered that. I think he still does that.
Hey, Granddad, when was the first time you kissed Kenya?
The first time I kissed her, well, I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember the first time.
I bet she does.
I do.
Where was that?
I lived at Boone Cottage, which is not there anymore. It was 19 girls that lived in a cottage. And I told you about my roommate that he dated first. Well, she had her second date with him, and I was supposed to have a blind date, but he didn't show up. I'd never met him or anything. So when they got home from their date, I went with them. They invited me, just to come on, go with them. So I did. And when we got home, we were sitting in chairs out on the porch like this. And I said, well, I'm going on up. And she pushed me down on the seat, to sit down. She said, don't go up yet. And I said, well, I'm going to go up. So y'all can say goodbye. And good night. And she pushed me over in his lap. And she said, now kiss her. And she did like that. It was my first kiss.
Wow.
That was a smooch, wasn't it?
Wave goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And we're ready now for you to take the picture.
This video.
He spent 30 years in the
Is
U.S.
this
Navy.
not a picture but a video? Is that right? Okay. Can we get a copy of it? I don't know what we run it on, but we'll try to find a machine to run it on.
Can you cut that out?
And we're going to write more about it later. We're going to write more about it and try to spread it later. I can see two of your three names, but I can't see your name, Jehovah. And
No prejudice. Just love.
And if Betty would give me the keys to the car because it's locked, then we could both go and tell others the story of Jesus.